Hello everyone, this is Maki. Do you like mass production type mobile suits? They have a simple appearance and a different kind of charm compared to the main Gundams. Today I'm going to introduce the DAGGER L. It's a mass-produced mobile suit that appears in Gundam Seed Destiny. If you analyze its origin and weapon specifications, you might discover some pretty terrifying secrets. Now you're going to board the DAGGER L and join the mission. Please select the mission you wish to join. Press the subscribe button to join the mission to steal the new Gundam. Press the like button to join the nuclear strike operation against the devils of space. Feeling a little scared to join the fierce battlefield? Then press the bell button to join the mission to defend the low and green cannon bases on Earth. We wish you good luck! The Earth's alliance managed to survive the war against the plants that began in Cosmic Era 70. It could never be called a victory, as both sides lost most of their forces, resulting in a truce. On the surface, the world began to move toward peace. However, the conflict between the coordinators and the Nautilus was never truly resolved, and the footsteps of war began to grow louder once again. It was in this environment that the DAGGER L was born. During the war with Zaft, the Earth's alliance developed the GATX series. Among them, the Strike Gundam was redesigned as a mass production model, becoming the 105 DAGGER. However, the high performance of the 105 DAGGER came with a major drawback. The production costs were very high. To meet the demands of war, the Strike DAGGER was created by simplifying the 105 DAGGER structure to reduce costs. So what kind of mobile suit is the DAGGER L? The L stands for lightweight clothing. The 105 DAGGER had high performance as a mobile suit, but was hampered by its high production costs. On the other hand, the Strike DAGGER was cheaper to produce, but suffered significant performance compromises. The DAGGER L was designed with the goal of matching the performance of the 105 DAGGER while maintaining the production costs of the Strike DAGGER. Its biggest feature is the ability to equip striker packs. In Seed Destiny, it is shown with packs such as the Doppelern and the Jet Striker. At first glance, it appears that it cannot equip the Sword Striker or Launcher Striker because the shoulder structure is different from the 105 DAGGER. However, in the spin-off of Stray series, a DAGGER L appears equipped with a Sword Striker. It appears that some modifications have been made to the striker packs as well. In addition, the 105 DAGGER used a technology called laminate armor to increase resistance to beam weapons. However, this technology was expensive compared to normal armor. By not using laminate armor, the DAGGER L was able to reduce its production costs. Not only was the structure simplified, but the weaponry was also improved and upgraded, raising its combat capabilities to a level comparable to the 105 DAGGER. Despite being called lightweight clothing, this mobile suit is quite cute in that it is more heavily armed than its predecessors. The DAGGER L, born under these circumstances, went on to play a major role as a frontline mobile suit in the Earth's Alliance vs. Plant War that erupted in Cosmic Era 73. A version called the Dark DAGGER L also appeared, with its armor painted black to enhance its stealth capabilities in space. The Dark DAGGER L differed only in color, with no change in performance. In addition, the spin-off Destiny Astray revealed an interesting new setting. It turns out that the DAGGER L was already finished in Cosmic Era 71. A large number of units had been completed at the Earth Alliance's lunar base, with the intention of seizing Prant after the nuclear strike forces destroyed Zaft's military power. This setup is both intriguing and terrifying. The Dagger L's Vulcan cannon, the Todes Shrekan, is an upgraded version of the Eagle Stallion, mounted on the Strike Dagger. The Eaglestan had a caliber of 75 millimeters, but the Todes Shrekan was modified to 12.5 millimeters. While the caliber was 1/6 of the original, the reduction in firepower was limited to 50%, allowing for a significant increase in the number of rounds loaded. However, with only half the firepower of the Eaglestan, it was weak against mobile suits. Interestingly, the same weapon is used in the Broduro Gundam, where it is stated that the Todes Shrekan was designed primarily for anti-vehicle and anti-personnel use, rather than for use against mobile suits. The Dagger L has two Todes Shrekan guns mounted on its head and chest, compared to the Strike Dagger, which had only one Eaglestan. The number of Vulcan guns has been quadrupled, and the number of rounds loaded has been greatly increased. Also, Todes Shrekan is a German term that translates to fear of death. What kind of plant extermination operation was the Earth Alliance planning? Judging from the names and specifications of the weapons, it seems that they were preparing for a terrible massacre operation. However, this plant extermination operation was never carried out. After witnessing the destructive power of Zaft's secret weapon Genesis, the Earth Alliance hastily evacuated the Dagger L units at the lunar base back to Earth. The Dagger LS, who retreated to Earth, did not participate in the war against Prant. Instead, they fought in the South American War of Independence that broke out in Cosmic Era 71. The United States of South America adopted the Strike Dagger as its primary mobile suit, while the Atlantic Federation used the Dagger L on the battlefield. The Dagger L's first battle was a tragic battle of brothers. In the Battle of Cosmic Era 73, the Dagger L once again played an active role as the primary mobile suit. However, when the next generation Gundam went into production, the focus on the battlefield shifted to the Gundam. Meanwhile, its sibling, the 105 Dagger, continued to be used with minor improvements. By Cosmic Era 73, it had evolved into a version known as Block 7. During the battle between Blue Cosmos encompassing Cosmic Era 75, large numbers of 105 Daggers fought alongside the Gundams. Though the full details are still unclear, it appears that the 105 Dagger, after undergoing improvements, acquired characteristics more suited to a mainline mobile suit than the Dagger L. And so the Dagger L quietly disappeared from Cosmic Era history. Let's take a look at the weapons of Dagger L. It may be a mobile suit with a rather simple role, but its weapons each have some fascinating features. First up is the Todes Shrekan 12.5mm automatic melee weapon. This was the weapon mentioned earlier in the prompt suppression operation explanation. In Cosmic Era 71, the Earth Alliance was heavily influenced by Muruta Azrael, the leader of the Blue Cosmos. Azrael obtained the neutron jammer Kayla technology that could solve Earth's energy problems, but he chose not to use it for peaceful purposes. Instead, it was used to build nuclear missiles and used in the war against Zaft. Considering these facts together, it is possible to interpret that this weapon, named Fear of Death, was born out of Blue Cosmos' hatred. The Earth Alliance struggled mightily against the mobile suits, so the decision to deliberately lower the anti-miss firepower in order to mount an anti-personnel weapon seems unnatural. This is just my personal interpretation, of course. The head-mounted Vulcan cannons are not built in like the 105 Dagger or Wingham, but are mounted externally. It's unclear why they chose an external mounting method even though the bullet caliber was made smaller. However, based on the earlier hypothesis, it would be frightening but also rational to interpret it as choosing a method to load as many bullets as possible to shoot more coordinators. Next is the beam carbine. This is a smaller weapon compared to the beam rifles equipped by the Strike Dagger and the 105 Dagger. Its firepower is lower, but its rate of fire has been improved. The Dagger L was designed with the idea of fighting alongside a large number of allies. Again, this is just my personal opinion, but the reduction in power and size compared to a beam rifle seems like it was designed for use in a space colony. It feels like there may have been a hidden goal to effectively eliminate the inhabitants without causing the colony to collapse. What do you think? Of course, it's entirely possible that the only intention was to improve the rate of fire for better efficiency in group attacks. But it's also odd that later mass-produced models like the Gundam and the improved 105 Dagger reverted to using beam rifles instead of beam carines. Next is the beam saber. It's mounted at the waist, just like the 105 Dagger. The one used by the Strike Dagger has the model number ES-01. The beam saber of the Dagger L, on the other hand, is marked ES-04B. The details are unclear, but it appears to have undergone some improvements. Then we have the stiletto. It's a dagger-shaped weapon that's thrown at the enemy. It accelerates with rocket propulsion and parries the target, then explodes with the explosives embedded inside. When it was used by the Gundam, it had enough power to destroy the shield of the Freedom Gundam or weapon mounted on the mass-produced mobile suits of Mechas 71. It was extremely powerful. It's attached to the waist along with the beam saber. The hip sections of the Gundam are very similar in shape to those of the Dagger L. It's possible that the Dagger L's operational data was so favorable that it was carried over almost directly to the Gundam. Then there's the low recoil cannon. This was used by the Dark Dagger L. It's a bazooka designed to reduce recoil for use in zero-gravity environments. When used effectively, it has the firepower to deal deadly blows to warships. Finally, there's the shield. It's a defensive weapon coded to withstand beam attacks. It can either be attached to the arm joint or held in the hand by the hilt. Of course, the Dagger L can also be used to equip striker packs. It appeared in Sea Destiny equipped with the Doppel Horn and Jet striker packs, which I explained in the Gundam commentary program. Since a Dagger L equipped with the Sword Striker also appears in the Astray series, it seems that older striker packs are also compatible. Let's take a look at the Dagger L's performance. As a supporting mobile suit, it's true that there aren't many examples of overwhelming success. One notable battle would be Phantom Pain's new Gundam theft operation. In the first shot with the Doppelern, they inflicted considerable damage on the warship. They even precisely destroyed the cockpit of a Gates-O with gunfire. The enemy approached the Dagger L with its body vertical, protecting the cockpit with its head and shield. Despite this, the Dagger L destroyed the cockpit with precision. The pilot was able to quickly spot the area not protected by the shield and snipe it. This scene really shows the extremely high skill level of the pilots in Phantom Pain. In the next scene, the Dark Dagger L units destroyed the Zaft warships. They target and destroyed the command center and engines, taking out the ships almost instantly. And that's not all. By exploding the warship's engines, they drive the ship into the port's command center, crushing into it and eliminating the commanding officers as well. One of the characteristics of ace pilots in the Gundam series is using things other than weapons to get results. The pilots of the DAGGER L truly fit the description of ace pilots. Although the extended pilots often attract the attention of viewers, these soldiers are also formidable elites. With only 2 pilots, they have destroyed several warships and command centers, and as soon as they run out of ammunition, they immediately start retreating. They are truly brilliant assassins. There's another impressive scene we should watch. It's the Earth Alliance's Foxtrot November operation. This was a massacre operation against France that was carried out after the Earth Alliance judged the Junius 7-drop incident as an act of terrorism by the coordinators. In this battle, a large number of DAGGER L units can be seen without striker packs. It isn't clear why they weren't equipped with striker packs. The main assault force in this operation was Gundams, which conducted nuclear strikes. The DAGGER L units served as decoys. Was it because they were in the decoy unit that they weren't expected to survive? It's also a bit odd that the Gundams took over the nuclear strike role. As mobile suits, Gundams have superior combat capabilities compared to DAGGER LS. If the goal was to more effectively stop Saft's mobile suits, Gundams would have been better suited for the destruction. During the Seed era, the strike daggers were responsible for holding off Saft's mobile suits, while the older Mebius units were responsible for the nuclear missile attacks. Powerful weapons were placed in the units directly fighting the enemy. In Operation Foxtrot November, they reversed this arrangement completely. Why did they run the operation this way? There is one small clue that might help. The Gundam is equipped with more thrusters than the DAGGER L. It has 2 additional thrusters installed on its shoulders and legs. Since they equipped large striker packs, it's possible they chose the Gundams for their stronger propulsion. However, the Gundams were destroyed by Saft's secret weapon, the neutron stampeder. This resulted in a large number of powerful new mobile suits being destroyed. After witnessing this outcome, the Earth Alliance began retreating back to their lunar base. Fortunately, the DAGGER L unit survived. The DAGGER L is a truly fascinating mobile suit. A cute feature is that the twin-eye cameras are hidden behind a visor-like part, just like in the Gundam. Compared to the Strike Dagger and Gundam, it's a bit plain, but if you take a closer look, it actually has a pretty cool design. It's also interesting that it looks very similar to the Strike Gundam from a distance. What part of the DAGGER L do you like the most? Is it the short beam carbine? Or maybe it's the way it can shine when piloted by highly skilled individuals, like the Phantom Pain pilots? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. That's it for today. See you next time for our mechanics analysis show. Thank you for watching until the end. See you next time.